Weight loss is often approached through strict diets, intense workouts, or quick fixes, but these methods rarely last. Many people struggle not because they lack willpower, but because they are disconnected from their body's needs and driven by stress, habits, or emotions. Mindfulness offers a different path. By cultivating awareness of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, mindfulness transforms how you relate to food, stress, and your body. Instead of a temporary fix, it creates lasting change that supports both physical and emotional well-being. Yes, mindfulness can be a valuable tool for weight loss by reshaping the way we interact with food and our bodies. Unlike restrictive diets that often lead to frustration or short-term results, mindfulness promotes a sustainable approach. It encourages you to pay attention to your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations, so you can make healthier choices that align with your body's true needs. One of the most effective mindfulness techniques for weight loss is mindful eating. This practice involves slowing down during meals, paying attention to flavors, textures, and smells, and noticing how your body feels as you eat. By savoring each bite, you naturally eat more slowly, giving your body time to signal fullness and preventing overeating. Mindfulness also helps identify emotional eating triggers. Many people turn to food in response to stress, sadness, boredom, or even happiness. While emotional eating provides temporary comfort, it often leads to consuming more calories than the body needs. By practicing mindfulness, you can pause and recognize when emotions, rather than hunger, are driving your food choices, and choose healthier ways to cope. In addition to recognizing triggers, mindfulness fosters greater awareness of hunger and fullness cues. Instead of eating by the clock or finishing everything on your plate out of habit, you begin to tune into your body's natural signals. This helps you eat when you are truly hungry and stop when you are satisfied, making weight management more intuitive and less forced. Meditation, another key mindfulness practice, supports weight loss by reducing stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which can increase cravings for high-calorie, sugary foods. Meditation lowers stress, which not only improves mental health but also decreases the likelihood of stress-induced eating. Over time, this contributes to healthier food choices and better weight control. Mindfulness can also change your perception of food. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad, you learn to approach eating with curiosity and balance. This reduces guilt and shame, which often cause people to swing between strict dieting and overeating. By creating a more positive relationship with food, you are more likely to make balanced choices that you can maintain long-term. Portion control is another area where mindfulness proves effective. When you eat without distractions, such as watching TV or scrolling on your phone, you are more likely to notice how much food you consume. This awareness helps you naturally reduce portion sizes without feeling deprived, since satisfaction comes from presence and enjoyment, not quantity. Over time, mindful eating becomes a habit that influences other areas of health. For example, people who practice mindfulness often notice improved digestion, fewer cravings, and a greater appreciation for nutritious foods. This shift not only supports weight loss but also enhances overall well-being by nourishing the body in a balanced way. It's important to note that mindfulness is not a quick fix, but a gradual lifestyle change. Unlike fad diets, it doesn't promise rapid results. Instead, it builds sustainable habits that promote long-term health. By consistently practicing mindfulness, weight loss becomes a byproduct of living with awareness and respect for your body, rather than the sole focus. Ultimately, mindfulness contributes to weight loss by teaching you how to eat with intention, manage emotional triggers, and appreciate food without excess. It transforms eating from a mindless act into an empowering practice of self-care. With patience and consistency, mindfulness can help you achieve not only a healthier weight but also a more compassionate and balanced relationship with food and yourself. Increased awareness of eating habits is one of the most powerful benefits of mindfulness. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to eat while distracted, whether scrolling on a phone, watching TV, or working at a desk. These distractions often lead to mindless eating, where you consume food without fully noticing how much or why. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle by bringing your attention back to the present moment, allowing you to reconnect with the act of eating. Mindfulness encourages you to pay attention to both the physical and emotional sensations associated with eating. Physically, you start noticing hunger cues, satiety levels, and the way food affects your energy. Emotionally, you may begin to recognize how stress, sadness, boredom, or celebration influences your food choices. This awareness creates space to make intentional decisions rather than falling into automatic habits. By noticing when you eat, you can better distinguish between true hunger and other triggers. For example, if you find yourself reaching for a snack an hour after a meal, mindfulness can help you pause and ask, am I really hungry, or am I just stressed or bored? This reflection doesn't judge the craving but instead allows you to choose a response consciously, whether that means eating something nourishing or addressing the emotion in another way. Mindfulness also helps uncover why you eat. Emotional eating is a common pattern many people experience, where food is used to soothe feelings rather than satisfy hunger. Similarly, eating out of habit, like grabbing a bag of chips while watching TV, can happen without much thought. When you practice mindfulness, you start to identify these patterns and realize that not every urge to eat comes from hunger. This recognition is the first step in breaking the cycle of overeating. Increased awareness also leads to a greater appreciation of food itself. Instead of rushing through meals, you take time to notice textures, aromas, flavors, and even the effort that went into preparing your food. This deeper connection not only enhances enjoyment but also reduces the need to overeat, because satisfaction comes from the quality of the experience rather than the quantity consumed. Another benefit of mindfulness is its role in portion control. When you pay attention to your body, you become more attuned to the moment when hunger fades and satisfaction sets in. This allows you to stop eating before becoming uncomfortably full. Over time, this habit can support healthier weight management without the need for restrictive diets. Awareness of eating habits can also reveal triggers in your environment. For example, you might notice that you snack more when working late, or that certain social situations lead to overeating. Recognizing these patterns gives you the power to prepare and respond differently, such as keeping healthier snacks nearby or setting boundaries in social settings. Increased mindfulness around eating also reduces guilt and shame. When you eat without awareness, it's easy to overindulge and then feel regretful afterward. Mindful eating, however, shifts the focus from judgment to curiosity. Instead of labeling your behavior as bad, you simply observe what happened, learn from it, and adjust next time. This compassionate approach makes it easier to create lasting, positive change. Over time, mindfulness builds trust between you and your body. Instead of relying on external rules or diets to tell you what, when, or how much to eat, you begin to trust your own signals. This self-trust fosters confidence in your ability to make healthier choices and creates a sustainable way of eating that honors both your body and mind. Ultimately, increased awareness of eating habits transforms the way you relate to food. By being present with each meal, recognizing patterns, and understanding your true needs, you create freedom from unconscious habits that lead to overeating. Eating becomes not just about fueling your body, but about living with intention and care. In this way, mindfulness turns every bite into an opportunity for balance, nourishment, and self-respect. Improved food choices begin with awareness. Too often, we eat on autopilot, grabbing what's convenient, rushing through meals, or eating because of stress or boredom. When you slow down and tune into your hunger and fullness cues, you develop a new kind of relationship with food. Instead of treating meals as a task, you start to see them as an opportunity to nourish your body and experience satisfaction without overindulgence. Mindful eating means listening to your body's signals rather than external triggers. Commercials, emotions, or even the sight of a snack on the counter can tempt us to eat when we don't need to. By pausing to ask, am I truly hungry, or am I eating for another reason, you empower yourself to make a conscious choice. This small moment of reflection can prevent unnecessary calories and help you honor your body's true needs. When you eat mindfully, the quality of your food choices often improves naturally. Instead of reaching for processed, fast, or sugary foods, you may find yourself craving meals that actually leave you energized and satisfied. Whole, nutrient-dense foods like fresh vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains provide lasting satiety, while junk food often leaves you sluggish and still hungry. Awareness helps you distinguish between short-term cravings and long-term nourishment. Savoring your food also plays a key role in improved choices. Eating slowly allows you to notice textures, aromas, and flavors that often go unappreciated when rushing. A single bite of ripe fruit or a warm, seasoned dish can be far more enjoyable than mindlessly consuming large portions. By paying attention, you can gain more satisfaction from less food, which supports balance without feeling deprived. Another benefit of mindful eating is the ability to stop when satisfied rather than when overly full. Many of us were raised to clean our plate, but fullness should be determined by the body, not by portion size. Recognizing the moment when you feel comfortably nourished, rather than stuffed, reduces overeating and allows digestion to function more efficiently. Over time, this practice can help maintain a healthier weight and support overall well-being. Mindful eating also reshapes emotional eating patterns. It's easy to use food as a quick comfort when stressed, sad, or anxious, but emotional eating rarely solves the underlying issue. By pausing and identifying your true needs, you can respond differently, perhaps taking a walk, journaling, or calling a friend. This helps break the cycle of using food as a coping mechanism and encourages healthier outlets for emotions. Intention is at the core of better food choices. Mindful eating asks you to consider why you are choosing a particular food. Are you nourishing your body? Are you celebrating a special occasion? Are you simply giving in to a habit? There's nothing wrong with occasional indulgence, but when choices are intentional rather than impulsive, they create balance rather than guilt. The practice of mindful eating extends beyond meals into grocery shopping and meal preparation. When you think ahead about what foods will truly satisfy and energize you, you're less likely to purchase items that lead to mindless snacking later. Stocking your kitchen with wholesome ingredients sets the stage for intentional, nourishing meals, making improved food choices easier and more consistent. Mindful eating is not about strict rules or deprivation. It's not a diet but a practice of awareness and respect for your body. When you release the pressure of good and bad foods and instead focus on how food makes you feel, you naturally lean toward choices that bring vitality, joy, and satisfaction. This shift in mindset fosters a sustainable and positive relationship with eating. Ultimately, improved food choices come from valuing your body and its signals. By slowing down, savoring, and making intentional decisions, eating becomes more than a routine, it becomes a practice of self-care. Each mindful bite is a step toward balance, health, and appreciation for the simple act of nourishment. Over time, this way of eating transforms not only your plate but also your sense of well-being. Carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are the three main types of macronutrients, providing energy and building blocks for the body. Carbohydrates are a primary energy source, while proteins are crucial for building and repairing tissues. Fats, though often misunderstood, are vital for various bodily functions, including hormone balance and vitamin absorption. Here's a more detailed look at each. Carbohydrates primarily serve as the body's main energy source, providing glucose, sugar, for cells, tissues, and organs. The types include sugars, simple carbohydrates, starches, complex carbohydrates, and fiber, another complex carbohydrate. Examples of sugars are found in fruits, milk, and added to processed foods. Starches are in bread, cereals, pasta, and some vegetables. Fiber is in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, which can be used immediately or stored for later use. Protein's function is essential for building and repairing tissues, including muscles, bones, skin, and hair. It provides amino acids, the building blocks for these tissues and structures. Examples are found in meat, dairy, eggs, beans, nuts, and seeds. When needed, proteins can also be used for energy, though they are not the body's preferred fuel source. Fat's function is vital for hormone balance, absorption of certain vitamins, A, D, E, and K, and insulation of organs. It contributes to cell function and energy storage. Examples are found in oils, butter, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. Fats are higher in calories than carbohydrates and proteins but are an important source of energy and play a crucial role in various bodily functions. Out of the three main types of macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbohydrates, which help you eat less? The answer comes down to how each macronutrient affects satiety, feeling full, hunger hormones, and energy levels. Protein is the most effective at helping you eat less. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It increases satiety hormones, like GLP-1, PYY, and decreases ghrelin, the hunger hormone. High-protein meals stabilize blood sugar and keep you full longer. Studies show people naturally eat fewer calories when they increase protein intake, especially lean meats, eggs, fish, Greek yogurt, legumes. Fats are moderately satiating. Fats are calorie-dense, so small amounts can feel satisfying. Healthy fats, avocados, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish, help slow digestion, keeping you fuller for longer. But because fat has 9 calories per gram, more than double carbs/protein at 4 calories per gram, overeating can happen quickly. Carbohydrates are the least effective at controlling hunger, depends on the type. Refined carbs, white bread, pastries, soda, spike blood sugar, then crash it, making you hungry again quickly. Fiber-rich carbs, vegetables, beans, whole grains, fruits, do help with fullness because of bulk and slow digestion. Bottom line, protein is the king of appetite control, it helps you eat less naturally. Healthy fats plus high-fiber carbs work best when combined with protein for long-lasting fullness. If your goal is to reduce overeating, aim for high-protein meals, chicken, eggs, fish, beans. Add healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil. Prioritize high-fiber carbs, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. Life comes with its fair share of stress, work deadlines, family responsibilities, financial pressures, and personal struggles. Stress itself is not always bad. In small doses, it can motivate us to act. But when stress becomes chronic, it begins to take a toll on both physical and emotional health. One of the hidden consequences of prolonged stress is weight gain, often triggered by unhealthy coping mechanisms. Stress influences eating behaviors in powerful ways. Many people turn to food for comfort, reaching for sugary, salty, or high-fat foods when they feel overwhelmed. This is known as emotional eating. It provides a temporary sense of relief or pleasure, but it doesn't solve the underlying stress. Instead, it often leads to overeating, guilt, and eventually unwanted weight gain. On a biological level, stress increases the production of cortisol, a hormone that raises blood sugar levels and boosts appetite. Cortisol also makes the body more likely to store fat, particularly around the abdomen. Over time, this combination of increased appetite and fat storage can make it very difficult to maintain a healthy weight. That's why finding ways to deal with stress is not just about mental health, it's about physical health, too. Healthy stress management can prevent the cycle of emotional eating, reduce cortisol levels, and protect your long-term well-being. Without effective coping strategies, the body and mind remain trapped in a loop that fuels both stress and weight gain. Mindfulness offers a powerful tool for managing stress. Practices such as meditation, mindful breathing, and body awareness exercises help calm the nervous system and bring your attention back to the present moment. Instead of being consumed by worries about the past or future, mindfulness allows you to ground yourself in the here and now, reducing stress at its root. Meditation, in particular, has been shown to lower cortisol levels and promote relaxation. Just a few minutes a day of sitting quietly, focusing on the breath, and letting thoughts pass without judgment can reduce stress significantly. As stress decreases, the urge to use food as a coping mechanism also lessens, helping break the pattern of emotional eating. Beyond meditation, mindfulness also helps people recognize the connection between stress and their eating habits. By paying attention to when, why, and how you eat, you can notice if certain emotional triggers, like anxiety, sadness, or frustration, are leading you to seek comfort in food. This awareness creates an opportunity to choose healthier coping strategies instead. For example, instead of reaching for snacks when feeling stressed, you might choose to take a short walk, journal your feelings, or practice deep breathing. These alternative actions don't just avoid unnecessary calories, they also address stress more effectively. Over time, replacing emotional eating with mindful coping skills builds resilience and better long-term weight control. Importantly, stress management doesn't eliminate life's challenges, it changes how you respond to them. With mindfulness, stress becomes something you can notice, acknowledge, and release, rather than something that controls you. This shift not only supports healthier eating habits but also fosters a sense of empowerment and self-compassion. In the end, dealing with stress is essential for both emotional balance and weight management. By integrating mindfulness practices such as meditation into daily life, you can reduce stress levels, quiet the urge for emotional eating, and create space for healthier choices. Over time, this combination leads not only to weight loss but also to greater peace of mind and a stronger, more resilient self. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment with openness and without judgment. When applied to eating, it helps individuals tune into their internal signals and better understand their relationship with food. One of the most powerful benefits of mindfulness is its ability to strengthen both self-awareness and self-control, two skills that are essential for making healthier food choices. Self-awareness begins with noticing the thoughts and feelings that arise before, during, and after eating. Often, cravings or urges come from emotional triggers rather than true hunger. For example, boredom, sadness, or stress may lead you to reach for a snack even when your body doesn't need it. Mindfulness allows you to pause and ask, am I actually hungry, or am I eating for another reason? By cultivating this non-judgmental awareness, you start to see patterns that were previously automatic. Instead of labeling cravings as bad or feeling guilty for wanting certain foods, you learn to simply observe the urge. This gentle awareness creates space between the craving and your response, giving you the chance to choose a healthier action rather than reacting impulsively. Self-control naturally grows out of this awareness. When you recognize that an urge to eat is driven by habit or emotion, you are less likely to act on it without thought. Mindfulness helps strengthen the pause button in your mind, the ability to stop, reflect, and make an intentional decision rather than being controlled by immediate desires. This practice also reshapes the way you view food. Instead of seeing certain foods as forbidden or guilty pleasures, mindfulness teaches you to enjoy them with balance and moderation. By eating slowly, savoring flavors, and truly experiencing each bite, you become satisfied with less, which reduces overeating and promotes healthier eating habits. Mindfulness can also reduce the power of unhealthy cravings over time. When you observe a craving without judgment and resist acting on it immediately, you weaken its hold on you. You begin to realize that cravings rise, peak, and fade away like waves. This realization builds confidence in your ability to handle them without always giving in. Emotional awareness plays a big role here as well. With mindfulness, you become more attuned to the feelings beneath your eating behaviors. If you notice that loneliness often triggers late-night snacking, you can address the loneliness itself, perhaps by calling a friend, journaling, or practicing self-care, instead of numbing it with food. Over time, these mindful practices lead to healthier choices becoming more natural. Instead of forcing self-control through sheer willpower, you build a deeper alignment between your values, emotions, and behaviors. Eating becomes less about restriction and more about respect for your body, your health, and your overall well-being. Mindfulness is not a temporary fix, it is a lifestyle practice that can be seamlessly woven into daily routines. Unlike restrictive diets that often feel unsustainable, mindfulness focuses on cultivating awareness, balance, and compassion toward oneself. This makes it an effective long-term strategy for managing weight while promoting overall well-being. One of the key strengths of mindfulness is its flexibility. You don't need special tools, memberships, or rigid schedules to practice it. It can be as simple as pausing before a meal to notice your hunger level, or taking a few mindful breaths when a craving strikes. These small, consistent habits gradually build into a sustainable way of living that supports weight management. Mindfulness shifts the focus away from external rules about what you should or shouldn't eat and toward internal cues. By learning to trust your body's signals of hunger and fullness, you naturally eat in a way that aligns with your true needs. This reduces the likelihood of overeating and helps prevent the cycle of guilt and restriction that often leads to weight regain. Daily mindfulness practices, such as mindful eating, encourage you to slow down and fully engage with your food. Savoring the flavors, noticing textures, and appreciating the nourishment your meal provides leads to greater satisfaction. This not only reduces the urge to overeat but also fosters a more positive and enjoyable relationship with food. Another benefit of incorporating mindfulness into daily life is its ability to address emotional eating. Stress, boredom, and sadness are common triggers for unhealthy food choices. By practicing mindfulness techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling, you can recognize these emotions for what they are, feelings to be acknowledged, not problems to be numbed with food. Mindfulness also cultivates patience, which is essential for sustainable weight loss and maintenance. Many people expect quick results and give up when they don't see immediate changes. With mindfulness, you learn to appreciate progress in small steps, trusting the process rather than obsessing over outcomes. This patient mindset makes long-term success more achievable. Another way mindfulness supports sustainability is by reducing stress, which is often linked to weight gain. Chronic stress can disrupt hormones, increase cravings, and lead to emotional eating. Mindful practices like meditation, yoga, or simply taking mindful breaks throughout the day calm the nervous system, lowering stress levels and indirectly supporting healthy weight management. Mindfulness is not just about food, it also extends to how you view and treat your body. Instead of criticizing your body or focusing only on flaws, mindfulness encourages gratitude and respect for what your body does for you every day. This shift in perspective promotes healthier lifestyle choices, from exercise to sleep, because they are rooted in self-care rather than punishment. Because mindfulness is adaptable, it can be practiced in any environment, at home, at work, or even while on the go. This makes it sustainable for all lifestyles, regardless of how busy or unpredictable life may be. The consistency of these small mindful habits is what creates lasting change, making weight management feel less like a struggle and more like a natural rhythm. Ultimately, mindfulness provides a foundation for maintaining weight loss over time because it addresses both the physical and emotional aspects of eating. By building awareness, fostering self-compassion, and reducing reliance on external diets or rules, mindfulness helps you develop a healthier, more balanced relationship with food and your body. This makes weight management not just possible but sustainable for the long term. In essence, mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When applied to eating and lifestyle habits, this awareness can be transformative. Instead of operating on autopilot, where food choices and stress responses are often automatic, mindfulness encourages conscious decision-making. This shift allows you to take control of your actions and align them with your health goals, including weight loss. One of the most powerful ways mindfulness supports weight loss is by increasing awareness of eating habits. Many people eat quickly, distracted, or in response to emotions rather than hunger. By slowing down and observing when, how, and why you eat, mindfulness helps uncover patterns such as emotional eating or unnecessary snacking. This awareness is the first step in making meaningful changes. Mindfulness also promotes healthier food choices. When you practice mindful eating, you are more likely to savor your food, notice its flavors, and recognize how it makes your body feel. This deeper connection with food naturally encourages a preference for meals that nourish and energize you rather than those that leave you sluggish or unsatisfied. Over time, this leads to healthier dietary patterns that support weight loss. Stress management is another critical aspect where mindfulness plays a role. Stress often triggers cravings for high-calorie, comfort foods, which can derail weight loss efforts. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or mindful walking reduce stress levels by calming the nervous system. By lowering stress, you reduce the likelihood of turning to food as a coping mechanism, which can prevent unnecessary weight gain. Beyond stress relief, mindfulness enhances self-regulation. It strengthens the ability to pause between impulse and action, giving you the space to choose how to respond. For example, instead of automatically reaching for a sugary snack when you feel anxious, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge the craving, examine its source, and decide whether eating truly aligns with your goals. This conscious pause can make all the difference. Mindfulness also fosters patience and consistency, qualities essential for sustainable weight loss. Quick fixes and fad diets often fail because they do not address the underlying behaviors or mindset. By focusing on gradual, mindful changes, you can build habits that are realistic and maintainable. This long-term approach helps you lose weight steadily and keep it off. Another benefit of mindfulness is the way it helps you tune in to hunger and fullness cues. Rather than eating until you are uncomfortably full, mindfulness teaches you to stop when satisfied. This practice prevents overeating and allows your body to naturally regulate calorie intake without strict rules or deprivation. It also makes meals more enjoyable because you are fully present while eating. Mindfulness encourages a healthier relationship with food and your body. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad or feeling guilt after eating, mindfulness promotes a compassionate perspective. This reduces the emotional burden around eating and helps you approach food with balance and curiosity. A positive relationship with food supports both mental health and long-term weight management. Incorporating mindfulness into daily routines doesn't require drastic changes. Simple practices such as eating without distractions, pausing before meals to assess hunger, or taking mindful breaths during stressful moments can have a profound impact. These small but consistent steps accumulate over time, creating lasting habits that support healthier living and weight loss. Ultimately, mindfulness brings all of these elements together: awareness of eating habits, healthier choices, stress management, and improved self-control, into a holistic approach to weight loss. Rather than relying on rigid diets or willpower alone, mindfulness equips you with tools to navigate challenges, enjoy food, and care for your body. By practicing mindfulness, your weight loss journey becomes less about restriction and more about self-discovery and balance. Improved food choices. When you're mindful of your hunger and fullness cues, you're more likely to eat when truly hungry and stop when satisfied, rather than eating until overly full. Mindful eating encourages slowing down, savoring flavors, and appreciating textures. This deeper connection to food makes you more intentional about what you eat. Over time, you begin to prefer foods that nourish and energize your body instead of relying on quick, empty-calorie fixes. This not only supports weight loss but also promotes overall health. Increased awareness of eating habits. Mindfulness shines a light on the why behind your eating habits. Many people eat on autopilot, driven by emotions, stress, or routine. By practicing mindfulness, you become more aware of patterns like late-night snacking, emotional eating after stress, or eating simply out of boredom. Recognizing these patterns empowers you to make conscious choices instead of being controlled by old habits. This awareness is often the turning point toward long-term change. Managing stress to reduce emotional eating. Stress is one of the biggest contributors to overeating and weight gain. Many people turn to food for comfort, choosing high-calorie or sugary foods when they feel overwhelmed. Mindfulness practices like meditation, deep breathing, or yoga reduce stress by calming the nervous system. As stress levels lower, the tendency to use food as an emotional crutch decreases. Instead, you gain healthier tools for managing life's challenges, indirectly supporting your weight loss journey. Strengthening self-awareness and self-control. Mindfulness builds a mental pause between urges and actions. Instead of reacting automatically, such as grabbing a snack when stressed, you learn to observe the craving, understand its source, and make a conscious decision. This self-control doesn't mean restriction, it means freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of cravings but can choose in alignment with your goals. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to resist unhealthy choices and consistently choose healthier ones. A sustainable approach to weight management. Unlike fad diets, mindfulness isn't about rigid rules or deprivation. It's about creating a sustainable, balanced relationship with food in your body. By developing mindful habits, like eating without distractions, honoring hunger cues, and practicing self-compassion, you create a lifestyle that is both enjoyable and maintainable. This sustainability is what makes mindfulness so effective for long-term weight management. It's not about short bursts of willpower, but about a steady, mindful way of living. Building a healthier relationship with food. Mindfulness also transforms the way you view food itself. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad or feeling guilty for eating certain things, mindfulness encourages a compassionate and balanced perspective. This approach reduces the emotional burden of eating, allowing you to enjoy meals without shame or judgment. By removing guilt, you reduce the stress around food choices, making it easier to maintain healthy habits in the long run. Practical ways to incorporate mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't require drastic changes. Simple practices can make a big difference, such as eating without distractions like phones or TV, pausing before meals to assess your true hunger level, taking a few mindful breaths when you feel stressed instead of reaching for food, noticing how different foods make your body feel after eating. These small shifts, practiced consistently, accumulate into lasting habits that naturally support weight loss. Patience and consistency. Mindfulness also cultivates patience. Weight loss doesn't happen overnight, and many quick-fix methods fail because they ignore the deeper relationship with food. By focusing on gradual, mindful changes, you build habits that stick. Mindfulness reminds you that health is a journey, not a race. This perspective helps you stay consistent without falling into cycles of restriction and relapse. Conclusion: a holistic path to lasting change. In essence, mindfulness brings together awareness, stress management, healthier food choices, and improved self-regulation into a holistic approach for weight loss. It's not about forcing yourself to follow strict rules, it's about reconnecting with your body, honoring your needs, and making intentional choices. By practicing mindfulness, your weight loss journey shifts from being a struggle of willpower to a path of self-discovery, balance, and sustainable health.